X Limited invoiced goods to its Mumbai branch at cost. The head office paid all branch expenses from its bank except petty cash expenses which were paid by the branch. From the following details relating to the branch, prepare branch stock account, branch debtors account, branch expense account, branch P&L account. It means we have to open all these accounts. Then we have information like the opening stock, debtors, opening petty cash, goods sent from HO, returned to HO, cash sales, advertisements, cash receipt from debtors, closing stock, allowances to customers, then discount to customers, bad debts, goods returned by customers to branch, salaries and wages, rent and rates, closing debtors, closing petty cash, and credit sales. So let's open the accounts. Okay, we'll get started. First, let's have branch stock account. Then what is the second requirement? First one is branch stock account. Second is we should have branch debtors account. Then we should have branch expenses account. And then branch P&L account, branch expenses account, then we need branch P&L account. So these four are the accounts which we have to prepare as per the requirement in the question. So let's go one by one. Item number 1 is opening stock, so that will go to branch stock account and it is 21,000. So we'll write to balance brought down, it is 21,000. Item 2, opening debtors 37,800. So do we have branch debtors account? Yes. To balance brought down 37,800. Then we have opening petty cash. Since we don't have branch cash account or petty cash account, for the moment let's keep it silent. We'll see how we can factor this. Then we have goods sent to HO, then goods returned from HO. Okay, or sorry, goods sent from HO and goods returned to HO, 78,000 and 3,000. So let's factor that, and that should come under branch stock account. So we'll write to goods sent to branch account. What is the amount? 78,000. This is what sent to branch, and what is returned to HO? It is 3,000. So buy goods sent to branch, buy goods sent to branch, it is 3,000. That was the return to HO. And going back, we have cash sales. Cash sales reduces the stock, so that it should come under branch stock account, and that money is going to be sent back to HO. So buy cash. What is the amount? Amount is 52,500. So here we write buy cash 52,500. Then we have advertisement. To advertisement, this is basically branch expense. Okay, so that should come under branch expense account rightly. So in branch expense, let me write to bank. Various expenses have to be factored, so let me simply keep it in brackets now. It is 2,400, that is basically advertisement. Okay, and coming back, next we have cash received from debtors 85,500. So we'll factor that in branch debtors account. Okay, We'll factor that in branch debtors account because cash received from debtors will reduce the debtors balance. So we'll write by cash. What is the amount? It is 85,500. So that is taken care. Then we have closing stock 19,500. So we'll simply write that by balance carry down. It is 19,500. So that is taken care. Then we have allowances to customers 600. This allowances 600, then discount to customers 4,200, bad debts of 1,800. All this will reduce the debtors. Okay, so all this have to be credited to debtors. We'll write by, and what is the nature of these items? These are all the expenses of the branches, but they are going to reduce the value of debtors. So we'll write by branch expenses. By branch expenses account, they are 600 plus 4,200 plus 1,800 is equal to 6,600. Okay, so this should get recorded in branch expenses also. So we'll go to branch expenses. We'll say two branch debtors. Two branch debtors, and that's the entry we have, right? It is branch expenses debit to branch debtors credit. So to branch debtors account, what was the value? It was 6,600. So that part is taken care. Now we'll come back. We have goods returned by customers to the branch 1,500. Now this will increase the stock value. So it means this should be debited to branch stock account. So here we'll write to branch debtors, right? Because the debtors value is going to come down to the extent of the goods that were returned. So it is 1,500. It means there should be a simultaneous credit in debtors account on account of branch stock. So by branch stock, what is the value? 1,000. The value works out to 1,500. This is basically on account of return of goods by customers. Then we have salaries and wages. We have salaries and wages, rents and taxes. Okay, these two are basically expenses of branch. So in branch expenses account, we'll factor them 18,600 plus 3,600, right? So we'll take it to branch expenses. That is, here we'll add 2,400 plus, we have two items. One is 18,600 and another one is 3,600. So now let's total all the three: 2,400, 18,600, 3,600. All three put together works out to 24,600. Right? So that part is also taken care. Coming back to question, we have closing debtors 29,400. So let's go to debtors. We'll write by balance carry down. It is 29,400. Fine. Then do we have any credit sales? Yes, I think that was available immediately here. Credit sales is 85,200. So credit sales will also reduce the value of stock, but it will increase the value of debtors. So let's credit the stock first by branch debtors. How much? It is 85,200. But this is going to increase the debtors, that is branch debtors to branch stock. To branch stock, what is the value? 85,200. Okay, so we have one more item in between. We have closing petty cash. We have closing petty cash, how much? 300. What was the opening petty cash? Opening petty cash was 600. Closing petty cash was 300. It means 300 worth of petty cash has been consumed for some expenses. So we have to account for this under branch expenses. So let me go to branch expenses account. There we'll write two petty expenses. We don't know what are the expenses, but we know the opening balance of petty cash was 600, closing balance was 300. So it is 600 minus 300, it works out to 300. So this is your branch expenses with regard to petty cash. Okay. Now let's go back to the question again. Let's see whether we still have any more items to be completed. We have more or less covered everything. So what we'll do the balancing. Okay. So first let's check what is the position of the branch stock account. Let's move on. So let's do the totaling of branch stock account. So I think the total is higher on the credit side. It works out to 1,60,200. So let's write on both sides. It is 1,60,200. It means on the debit side we have a difference, and that difference works out to 59,700. Okay, it works out to 59,700. It means this should be transferred to branch P&L account. So to branch P&L account is 59,700. So let's go to branch P&L. In branch P&L, let us write by, let me put it here, by branch stock account. What is the value? It is 59,700. Okay. Now let's go to the next account. We have closed branch stock account. Then we have branch debtors. Let's do the totaling. The debit side total works out to 1,23,000. On credit, it is 85,800, 6,600, 1,500, 29,400, and it also works out to 1,23,000. So this is done. Then let's check branch expenses account. Branch expenses, on debit we have three items, so let's total all the three. It works out to 31,500. Okay, it means this 31,500 will go to branch P&L. By branch P&L account, what is the value? It is 31,500. Fine. So we'll go to branch P&L now. In branch P&L, we'll write two branch expenses. It is 31,500. It means on credit you have 59,700, on debit it is 31,500. So there is a difference, and this difference should go to general P&L. So we'll say to general P&L, the difference works out to 28,200. So this is the balancing figure, and this should go to general P&L. So let's write total both sides, 59,700.
Thank you for watching this video. Hope you liked it. If you wish to learn more on this topic, do check our comprehensive online course. I have given the link in the description below. If you like this video lecture, do not forget to click on that like, share and subscribe button with bell icon.